How much do influencers make and how to make more? Do you know that most influencers pretty much could work at McDonald's and make more money? They only make a couple hundred, maybe a couple grand a year. What I'm gonna teach you in this video is how to leverage your audience in the correct way without losing them, and how to do it in a way where they're actually thanking you. Let's dive in. I first started on the internet in terms of trying to be an influencer. That was not my intent, but I was trying to share cool lessons, and I was doing it through podcasting. And I podcasted and podcasted and podcasted, and I've gone and put about 700 podcast episodes out. We've got this growing YouTube channel, 2 of them actually, and it's been great. We have 110,000 people on my contact email list inside of ClickFunnels, and it's been great. What I'm going to teach you in here though is how I actually like to leverage the different audiences from the different platforms. The pattern is very, very similar, because what I don't want to do is I don't want to do what most podcasting conventions have said, which is to just go get sponsorships. Sponsorship, and you basically sell airtime, and that's the only way you actually make money. I actually have never done a sponsorship. I should possibly do that, but what I'm gonna teach you here is not involving sponsorship tricks. All right, before I don't teach you about sponsorship tricks, I'm gonna talk to you about sponsorship tricks. No, it is a great revenue method and great model. I just have had my own products, so I've never needed to do it. However, there are a lot of tricks to it, and it's something that we've started looking into for our own events and trying to get them sponsored and such. It's actually a lot easier than most people think as well. One of my good buddies, his name is Brad Langan. He actually owns the Guinness Book of World Records for largest virtual summit. The dude's awesome. We've been doing some fun projects together. He was laughing at me because he's like, you guys have no idea how easy it is to get sponsorships and how much these corporations are looking for influencers like yourself to just get their name out to your following. And I was like, that's quite fascinating. And so he started showing us different ways to go out and actually get these sponsorships. It's very similar to any other type of product or promotional experience. We're going out, you're making an offer to them, and you're following up. Dave Woodward, who's actually now the CEO at ClickFunnels, said to me once, he said, sponsorships are awesome, but sometimes they can also be a little bit of a pain. And it's only because there's a lot of management behind actually getting the sponsorship itself. And so the way to approach this and the way to get the sponsorships is to treat it like a campaign for any other product that you would do. So there's a systematic outreach. And so what we're doing, what we have is a list of companies where like, these are the companies that we would love to sponsor our next event, or these are the companies that we would love to come sponsor our next big virtual event or next big project. And you basically create them an offer, just like you would any other product. Instead of selling a customer, you're selling a big sponsor. And so you turn yourself into the offer. We got this many people coming, we got this much viewer time, you're gonna get this much of a shout out, right? And you basically turn an offer and sell your airtime and sell your space to the sponsor, and systematically continue to outreach to them. Now the good news, they literally have budgets for this stuff, all right? You're not selling them on some brand new concept. They are used to sponsoring people, especially big corporations. So it's actually not that challenging to go do. I have another buddy, another colleague who, he was standing in front of me and he goes, Steven, you know how funny it is that you guys are gonna make like 100 grand? When I'll make 100 grand, but I'll make another 100 grand in sponsorships. And he was wearing a suit and he goes, you see the suit? This is not my suit. I'm sponsored to wear this suit. Look how nice is he? He was like, all right, cool. He's like, check this pen out. He's like, this pen is so expensive. This is not my pen. All right, this pen company, I reached out to them and I systematically reached out to them and they sponsored this pen to me so that I will talk about it. And I was like, he's like, I just want you to see that this side of the game is very, very lucrative. So figuring out the sponsorship piece, I'm not trying to poop on it or say that you shouldn't do it. I'm just saying that there are other ways as well to monetize, but definitely don't overlook the sponsorship game. Now, if you're an influencer, you're trying to monetize your following just a little bit more. The only thing I have with the sponsorship game is you gotta babysit them. So this is one of the reasons I have skipped a lot of the sponsorship stuff. Number 2, build your own product. Just build your own product. It's as simple as asking your audience what their problems are and building a product that solves it. And then you go back and you sell it to them. This is a very easy way for you to monetize your following. Very easy way for you to monetize your following. In fact, there's a lot of people now, especially influencers, and there's a lot of, there's people love or hate this one, okay? But white labeling is a fantastic strategy. So if you're like, man, I'd love to build my product. You know what if I don't build the product? I like that guy's product. Maybe I can just go get a white label. If you're unfamiliar with what a white label is, think about this. Let's say a supplement company builds a protein powder, and there's no label on it. And they hand you this bottle, this thing, this container of protein, and they let you put your label on it like you made it. That's called white labeling. And you can act like it's yours. You can take the cash from it. There's just a little fee that they charge. There's a lot of different agreements with it. But that's a great, great method. If you are trying to figure out how to get a product on the door fast, that's an awesome method. In fact, if you ever go to a chiropractor's office, you go to a doctor's office, and they got their own line of vitamins, come on. Those are all white labeled, all right? They're all white labeled. They did not make those products. They're busy with their patients. But the white labeling model is a popular model and a great one for you to monetize the following without going through the trenches of building your own product. Negative is that you obviously don't get to keep all the cash. So building it is not a scary thing also, but if you don't want to build it, white labeling is awesome. One of the biggest questions I get from people who are influencers and they're considering how to go and get extra cash from their following, I was at this event, actually this is recently, this guy stood up and he goes, Steven, all right, you're putting these videos out or you're putting podcasting out or you've got this following. How many tens of thousands, how many hundreds of thousands of people on your videos, on your following, do you need to make significant money? And I was like, hundreds of thousands of views. Dude, you need like 100. And he goes, what? I said, you don't need a huge following to go off and make money from a following. You don't. It helps, obviously, but no one starts that way. You don't need this huge, massive. I had almost no list, almost no following when I left my job. I had literally a couple hundred people on a waiting list for a product. That's it. That's all you need. You don't need everyone in the world to buy. So I'm trying to redefine how big of an influencer you have to be to actually make cash with this, because it's not massive highfalutin numbers. You can do it with a couple hundred people. Hey guys, before showing you one of the simplest ways to make money from your audience, I need you to click subscribe. We spent a lot of time and money, effort, and energy getting this video and this material in front of you, and it is free for you. It's better than a lot of paid courses. If you could please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. That tells YouTube like crazy that we are worth listening to, and it should be served up more amongst some of the crap that's on YouTube. Okay. In the comments down below, though, please let me know, what is one of the coolest influencers out there that you've ever seen sell to their audience while still not offending their audience? Who are those influencers that are doing a great job monetizing their following but are not offending their following? Tag them in the comments down below. All right, the third and one of the most simple ways to actually monetize your following as an Instagram or social media or whatever influencer is actually through cross promotions, collaborations. It's not hard. In fact, this was one of the major revenue opportunities that Russell Brunson used to teach slightly pre-ClickFunnels days, right around that turn. What they used to do is, let's say that you only had 1,000 people on an email list, okay? And that's as much influence as you have, which is fine, by the way. Let's say that's as much influence as you have. What you would do is you would go to somewhat of a list market, right? You would go and you would find somebody else who had about 1,000 people on their list. And this is basically the agreement. This is a lot of marketers got started this way, okay? Person over list A would say, hey, can I promote to your list, list B? And then when we're done, you can promote back to mine, right? They would cross promote back and forth. And what they would do is they would split all the cash. And they would say, hey, I want to go and I'm going to promote and split the cash, and then they would go the other way and they'd split the cash. But by doing that, a percentage from list B would start following list A, and a percentage of list A would start following list B. So now instead of just having 1,000 people, maybe it's 1,200, and you pick up some people along the way. This is also known as list hacking, and is one of my favorite growth strategies. And I will do this in a lot of ways. I like to do it personally through podcasts or YouTube interviews. And what we'll do is we write out a list of other people that we want to collaborate with. We call it the Dream 100. These are the Dream 100 people that we want to do a project with. And we just list out and we say like, oh, we want to work with that person. Let's work with this person. Let's work with this person, this person. And what we do is we just systematically reach out to them. We'll send them a cool shirt. Like this is our shirt from a new mastermind. Titans of Industry, which is awesome. And we'll say like, hey, here's the shirt for our new mastermind. By the way, can I interview you on my podcast? And I'm super happy to promote you to my list. And then after they say yes, I'm like, hey, before we do this, do you mind if I do it back to yours though? Right? And we start to cross promote. We go back and forth. This is a great way to grow very, very quickly and list hack and get just a percentage of their following to follow you and a percentage of your following follows them. And all lists grow together. And it's an awesome way for you to continue to grow, but also naturally pitch people without it feeling weird. You're doing it to each other's lists. Now, I would only recommend doing this once every couple months or once every, I don't know. Don't do it too often. You can burn your list out. Your list can leave you. Your list can leave you. So it's called list burnout. Don't do this too often to your list or your social media group or your Instagram following or whatever it is that you have influence over. Start to plan it out. Hey, you know what? Each quarter I'm going to do a big collaboration with another influencer. Whatever it is for you, whatever that means for you, whatever feels right for you. But doing it too frequently, you can burn out your list. Hey, I got another gift for you guys here. Go to internetlaunchsecrets.com. The link is in the description. If you like these revenue generating strategies, there's really simple ways to make a lot of cash on the internet, and they're not that crazy. Go to internetlaunchsecrets.com and you'll see my top 3 revenue generating strategies over the last 3 years. Okay, and we continue to do them because they just keep working over and over and over again. It's free to check out, and the link is in the description and in the first comments. We'll see you there.